Hey everyone, and welcome to the Missing Link Show. This is meant to be episode 3 and was meant to have the lovely Louise George on the show, but unfortunately she wasn't very well on Sunday, so speedy recovery to you, Louise. She has spoke to me since and said that next Sunday she'll be fit, ready, and we'll get her podcast recorded. Really looking forward to that because it's a perfect follow-up to what we learned last time. With Jim McNeil, learning about leadership in different roles, in different teams, in intense situations, in corporate, in life-threatening situations. We learned some really cool skills when it came to leadership lessons learned. And today I just wanted to talk to you about carry on a little bit about leadership, but with the books. So I love a book, really heavily into my self-development books around business, property, meditation, yoga, all these, weird and wonderful things that I do to try and improve myself. And some of my favourite books are based around leadership. And one in particular I want to talk about today is by far I'd say it is absolutely my favourite book. It's my favourite book to read. I mean, I've actually probably listened to it a lot more. I listen to a lot of audio books on Audible, but I've listened to this book 30 times, I reckon. I absolutely love it. It is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, and those two guys are phenomenal people. They are ex-Navy SEALs, been deployed several times. Most of the book is based around their time in Ramadi in Iraq during the war out there, and it's a really great read. But my favourite version is actually the audio version because it's actually read by the authors, Jocko and Leif, and the way they're military guys. You can tell they're military guys. Everything's read exactly how they're thinking it, and it is you get a real feel that you're almost there. It's not a war story, don't get me wrong. It's not like doom and gloom. They do, the structure of it is they'll tell what an instance, what happened whilst they was out there. So something happened and how they got over it with their lessons learned through their leadership, and then they'll translate that, so then they'll put that into their company nowadays. So now they've got a company called Echelon Front, and they go around corporate businesses and teach their teams and team leaders how to be better leaders and work better as a team. And using the times that they had in the military, the lessons they learned there, they're bringing it into the corporate world and teaching these teams how to be extreme ownerships, if you like. Extreme ownership is taking credit for the good and the bad, and that is the whole senses of the book. Basically, it dives deep into loads of different things, but the real core values of it is the extreme ownership, clues in the title. But it is absolutely true to be a great leader. You need to be able to take ownership of the good and the bad. So if you're in charge of a team and multiple things go wrong and it results in a disaster, lots of different people are at fault. It all comes down to the leader, and that book will absolutely tell you that and go into detail a bit more. But before reading it, and probably the best way is before reading it, I was probably just normal. I wasn't like part of the blame culture, like everything's not my fault. But definitely, if something wasn't my fault, I wouldn't try and stick up for it and say, "Oh, it is my fault. I could have done something. It was it wasn't my problem," or so it was someone else's job to do that. When in fact, actually, if I'm part of it, I got to own that. And that book really told that that kind of story to me, that if you're part of a team or if you're in charge of a team, whatever happens in that team is all because of you. they'll say many times in the book there are no bad teams, there are only bad leaders, and they show time and time again in the book that that's absolutely true. And it took me a while for it to sink in, you know, well, I've got to take ownership of everything, and it was hard. I mean, it's hard to change your habits or create new ones. I think it's harder to create new ones, so it's easier to change habits. I say easier, it's still frigging hard, but I think it's definitely easier to change an existing habit, you know, just build on something you've already got and tweak it a little bit. It'd be easier than trying to start a new one. And that's kind of what I did. So I had some leadership skills from different roles I've had in the past, being in construction, fire brigade, and now ice warrior. So I'm learning different styles of leadership through these different roles I do. But reading that book really opened my eyes as to what a true leader should be, and the potential that I had that I need to grow into. And yeah, I don't want to blabber on too much about it. It is a fantastic book. It will teach you all the lessons that I think really work as a good leader. So what a good leader needs to have, you will learn the lessons in this book, and it will teach you how to use those in everyday life, in normal situations, in critical crisis, in charge of corporate, small teams, large teams. It will teach you how to control a vast team of, like, say, hundreds of people, but only managing sort of 5 to 6 people, because that's effectively the maximum amount of people that any one person can lead. And I'm kind of like saying statistics from out the book because I've probably know it cover to cover, but it's not just me regurgitating stuff that I've read at the book. It is me saying stuff that I know works. So I've read the book, yes, a lot of times, I know it word for word, and I'm saying the words that they say, but not because I've read it. It's not, I'm not just regurgitating it. It's like I've taken it in, I've gone away, I've put it into practice, tried these leadership skills out, and they're working, really, really working really well. And I've become a better person for it. And I think a better leader, definitely a better person. I mean, that's hands down, that was my main goal with changing the way I was. But yeah, I think that reflects in leadership skills. People want to follow me in situations. They look to me for advice. So I think that's the signs of a good leader. I don't know. Whatever, maybe it's listen to your take. What do you think on what it takes to be a good leader? Let me know what you do in your normal day-to-day job, or what you do outside of work in leadership roles. How do you lead a group? How do you get people to follow you and give people the best advice? So that's it for today, I'm afraid. I've got to go. I'm in gym gear, got to get out. It's Ipswich PPN tonight. Me and Chris are both going to be there. We're now founding members of it, so we'll be talking all things HMO. So if you're going, look forward to seeing you there. And I implore you guys, read the book, Extreme Ownership. You'll love it, and I'll see you soon.